The last page. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Manuscript. I've always thought I left my childhood home in the past, but it seems life had other plans when I received a call from Mother asking if I could come back for a few days to take care of some matters. It was supposed to be a quick visit before returning to university. Little did I know that this trip would be the catalyst for a string of unsettling events unraveling in my life, all tracing back to one unexpected find. An old book hidden away in our attic, buried beneath layers of cobwebs and memories long forgotten. Stepping inside was like entering a time capsule. Every photograph, every piece of furniture remained unchanged since I last set foot here 10 years ago. Mother had been busy preparing dinner when I suggested heading upstairs to gather some clothes from my old room. The familiar musty smell clung to the air as we made our way up the creaking wooden stairs. As she began sorting through a chest, I wandered over to the bookshelf that lined one wall. My eyes landed on a tattered, leather-bound volume with pages that seemed to glow in the fading light. The cover bore no title or author's name, but what caught my attention was the familiar scrawl, "For Emma," written in silver ink. It felt like looking at myself, yet it couldn't be mine. I'd never owned a book like this before. Curiosity piqued. I opened the cover and a corner of the page rustled softly, releasing a faint scent of aged paper into the air. The handwriting was unmistakable, my own. Flipping through the pages, the ink looked younger, not faded with time as it should have been. A chill ran down my spine. How did I write this? Each passage resembled an eerie story, filled with dark elements that didn't resonate with my innocent childhood imagination. The writing was meticulous and detailed, almost as if these tales had unfolded before me. As the sun dipped beyond our garden window, I settled into the armchair, determined to decipher its origin. I'd just begun reading the opening passage when a strange sensation washed over me. The forest lay still, moonlight casting eerie shadows across the gnarled trees that seemed to reach out towards her like skeletal fingers. Lily trudged onward, her heart pounding in her chest as she listened for any sign of pursuit. Suddenly, a twig snapped behind her. She spun around. There stood an old man with eyes that glowed like embers from hell. "I've been waiting," he rasped, his voice carrying on the wind. Intrigue swirled within me, and I read on through the night until my eyes grew heavy, promising to return to it in the morning. Chapter 2. The Mysterious Disappearance. Morning light poured through the attic window when Mother knocked on my door. A look of concern etched across her face. "Emma, did you find anything?" I pointed to where Mr. Whiskers used to sit in the corner, now empty and silent. She seemed puzzled but didn't press, returning downstairs. My curiosity simmered. Could it be more than just nostalgia playing tricks on my mind? As if the book sensed my doubts, Lily's story advanced. She penned a tale of finding a mysterious locket. The next day, I discovered a vintage locket buried in our garden, hidden beneath an ancient oak tree. Inside was a note. "The darkness calls." It seemed surreal. Still, its presence tied to the novel too strongly to ignore. As classes ended and summer sunlight waned, I retreated back to my childhood sanctuary with a forgotten tome. Lily wrote of a friend disappearing in the woods, only for their corpse to reappear days later with hollow eyes. An unsettling tale that now mirrored reality when a classmate, Sarah, vanished on her routine walk home. Search parties found nothing but a locket around her neck. Coincidence or connection? I should have stopped reading by now. Instead, the book's pull was too strong, and I couldn't look away from Lily's fate. The pages blurred together, each event mirroring my own in increasingly unsettling ways. At night, I'd hear strange noises outside my window, a sound akin to someone trying to claw their way inside. In the novel, people who wrote of dark things suffered. One evening, as I read Lily's tale of being stalked by an unseen entity, a shadowy figure darted past my window with unnerving swiftness before vanishing into darkness. Lily penned about a car breaking down on a familiar road, eerily mirroring my own recent incident. Reading late one night, the engine sputtered and died. I walked home in the moonlight, an unsettling feeling of being watched lingering at every step. My mind raced to comprehend, but couldn't escape the connection between Lily's stories and reality. The story had become my life. In class the next day, whispers about Sarah's fate spread. The locket was found around her neck, a grotesque smile carved into her cheek. I never felt such unease while reading before. Yet here I was entangled in this book that refused to relinquish its hold. My room grew colder as Lily wrote of supernatural apparitions and unexplained laughter echoing through the trees. Those same unsettling sounds I'd heard outside my window now haunted me every night. A chill crept up my spine when a page fell open at Sarah's disappearance, revealing her corpse with an eerie grin on pale skin. The book's influence was unmistakable. It had become an obsession that consumed me by day and night. The forgotten tome whispered of Lily facing the darkness head on to escape its hold. I yearned for a way out, but couldn't resist turning those pages. At 2 a.m., my room grew so cold that frost rimmed my windows as I read about Lily's final confrontation with hellish creatures. Outside, something thumped against the glass with an unnatural force. It was not from the house or the wind, and I wasn't dreaming. That night, I fell asleep, haunted by those unblinking eyes from Sarah's corpse. Chapter 3. The final chapter. Days blurred into nights of reading until dawn, Lily on a fateful journey. Outside, a shadowy figure leaned in my window. I recognized the smile carved into its face as Sarah's. It vanished with a blood-curdling laugh before I could scream. A page tore out, an eerie echo of what happened to her corpse. The final confrontation between Lily and the darkness loomed ahead, but so did something far more sinister. Reading those words had become my existence. It was time to find answers. The wind howled as a gust slammed my door open, inviting in the night. In the novel, Lily faced her fears and lived. I steeled myself for the same. With trembling fingers, I opened the forgotten tome. A scream echoed from outside. My own voice, muffled but unmistakable. It was time to stop reading, but it was too late. As I read those final words of Lily's triumph over darkness, a hand grabbed my shoulder and spun me around, a decayed smile twisting the face. Sarah's and many others. The forgotten narrator had come for me, forcing me to confront what they'd faced in life through stories of darkness. My screams merged with the night as I wrote of shadows that crawled from the pages.